Not many people can claim that they have beat Andre Deescu and Rob Nunnery on Championship Sunday, but CJ Klinger has done just that, earning a gold medal alongside Andre Mick in St. Louis. The 17-year-old out of Columbus, Ohio, one of the younger players on tour, one of the best, though.
Yeah, CJ Klinger, again, Chad and I have both known him when he was about a foot and a half shoulder
11, 12?
Yeah, like 11 or 12 years old.
Yeah.
He was about a foot and a half shorter, and now he's just growing like a weed right now, getting taller and taller, longer and longer, and now he's starting to actually fill in too, which means he's getting stronger. And as a player too, he's just getting better and better week in and week out. He's very impressive to watch and see firsthand.
Well, his hands have always been good, but now with increased strength and the ability to even speed up some balls from extremely difficult positions, CJ Klinger is really coming into his own. Believe it or not, he was quieter than he is now when he was younger.
He's actually got a personality now. Before he would not say a word to any of us, even no matter how hard we tried. But
well, I can understand him not wanting to talk to the two of you. So.
Well, that's just in general.
That's just fine. Thanks. But, yeah, again, if CJ Klinger is going to get a paddle on it, it's coming back. His hands are so good. They're lightning fast. He can reset. He can speed up. He can counter.
And Klinger playing alongside Ross Whittaker. They took down the Johnson brothers in their last match, 11-8, 11-8, and 11-9. They're facing Stefan Auvergne and Daniel De La Rosa.
That had to be a 9, 11-8, 8, 11, 11-8, 11-9. There we go. I'm just saying, it's tough to win 3 games when you play 2 out of 3. Hey,
it sounds weird to say 11-8.
You've been giving us crap. We'll give you crap.
Yeah, well, I've come to expect it.
A nice spot right there from Auvergne, but that reset from Klinger. He was burned, and then just quick hands, resets right back.
And we take a look at Ross Whittaker, 29. Melson, Ohio.
Another point for Auvergne and De La Rosa. Auvergne, the lefty, makes his home in Austin, Texas. The 34-year-old, born in the U.S., grew up in France. As De La Rosa getting a little big there at the kitchen line, side out.
Well, you'll see that from De La Rosa. He's going to come in. He's going to want to play fast and hard.
0-3-1.
And De La Rosa, not only a pickleball player, but he's the reigning world champion racquetball.
And currently the #1 racquetball player in the world is Daniel De La Rosa. Actually won the International Racquetball Federation World Champion men's doubles in his home city. That's a special moment to be able to do it there. The first Mexican-born player to ever win the U.S. Open in racquetball.
Wow.
Auvergne, that had some heat coming off the battle.
That's not something we typically see from Auvergne, with a big backhand right there.
Yeah, huge two-handed backhand counter. Oh, man. And again, that's exactly what you're going to see from De La Rosa. He hits the ball as hard as anybody. The problem is he hits it so flat that if you can get out of the way, more than likely it's going to go out.
Yeah, but that's the task, getting out of the way.
Correct.
Klinger able to win the battle. Pair of lefties across from one another, so both sides with a lefty-righty matchup.
0-4-1.
And Auvergne just taking off for that Ernie. Whittaker, no chance getting that one back.
Auvergne heard me say that De La Rosa hits the ball really hard. Stefan Auvergne, too.
And De La Rosa getting a little bit jammed there on the backhand. Point for Klinger and Whittaker.
1-4-2.
That one sat on top of the net, and then I think the wind blew that one back over. Peeked over the net for a second.
4-1-1. Let's give credit where credit's due, by the way, as Auvergne and De La Rosa earn another point. Auvergne was the French Call of Duty champion as a 16-year-old avid video game player. That takes hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, Whittaker right there into the net on that backhand cross court and immediately calling a timeout as it is all Auvergne and De La Rosa here early on. They bring in that power and that heat and causing a lot of issues here for Klinger and Whittaker.
What's allowing Auvergne and De La Rosa to really dictate the way these points have been played so far?
Well, there hasn't been a whole lot of pressure on them. The returns aren't really pressure. Klinger and Whittaker haven't really been moving the ball around a whole lot because De La Rosa and Auvergne have been setting the tempo. They're keeping this quicker tempo. They're putting the pressure on, going for the body shots, going for the speed ups.
So how do Whittaker and Klinger adjust the tempo more to their liking?
Well, right now it has to start with a good return. It's something that needs to be lower. Get Auvergne and De La Rosa to speed, try to attack from a ball that's down below the knees.
6-1-1. Nice combination there from De La Rosa.
Short return. Auvergne steps in, drives, tempo set. De La Rosa steps up, attack. Ball out wide.
No return, point.
That ball didn't
Simple.
come up as much as Klinger thought.
Again, too, look at the pace of the serve from Auvergne right now. Watch this pace. Okay. Change up.
That one hitting the
Broadcaster
net.
jinx.
That one hitting the net and catching the kitchen line. Got away with one there. De La Rosa just getting a little too tall. Hits the top of the ball.
1-8-1.
Oh.
And De La Rosa pushes it long.
Klinger somehow got out of the way of that one. He almost headbutted it.
2-8-1.
Klinger goes right back through the middle for the overhead put-away point.
Well, perfect spot, though, right there from Klinger, finding the opening. Doesn't have to do too much with it, but finds the perfect spot.
Auvergne giving the overhead right back.
I mean,
3-8-2.
Just mashing on balls
Auvern's
right now.
not going to miss a ball right there. Let's just put it that way. And he's going to put a hard swing on.
Point.
That's good pressure right there from Klinger. And where does he go on De La Rosa? He goes right at his chest. So he's going right through that where Chad and I always talk about that center mass. Hard to get out of the way, but hard to also reset.
Lefties going head-to-head, but Auvergne and De La Rosa win the battle.
8-4-1.
Just a monster forehand from Auvergne.
But again, it's that shorter return, and it's a higher return here from Klinger. It allows Auvergne to put a big swing on that drive. And then De La Rosa moves forward and applies the pressure. Short.
De La Rosa back through the middle, and very quickly Auvergne and De La Rosa have earned themselves game point.
Well, it's not the pattern that Whittaker wants to get into. Daniel De La Rosa has really learned to backhand dink really well, and then trying to flip to his forehand is very dangerous.
And Klinger can't make the return. Game one goes to Daniel De La Rosa and Stefan Auvergne in a very clinical showing. Game two coming up here on Championship Court. There's more from the 2023 APP Dallas Open.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I'm finally feeling control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
We save time when we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Which means more time
Hey, take
for...
a check.
Kyle, it's pickleball.
Every time. 002.
Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
We started this mission in tennis about 5 years ago. We've been perfecting our craft and our tools. We now see a phenomenal opportunity to take all that and bring it into pickleball to support an emerging ecosystem that's booming. And it's a super complementary partnership for us. With the experience and the existing events that are up and running, the recreational element of APP, it's a fantastic 1 + 1 is going to equal 4. So we're thrilled to be partnering with APP.
Welcome back to Championship Court. Daniel De La Rosa and Stefan Auvergne took a lopsided Game 1, 11-4 in just 15 minutes. Game 2, CJ Klinger to start us off.
Oh, De La Rosa catching that one just a little late off the top of the edge guard.
A little mishit.
Not something you would expect there. They kind of got the balls that they wanted.
Side out.
0-1-1.
Yeah, I'd rather see Dan La Rosa attack that one. He's 5-6 feet inside the baseline.
Surprised he didn't drive it. That's a good ball there from Klinger, getting on top of the drive from Auvergne.
I know Klinger's coming out of that stack, though, Chad, but I still don't go to him on that drive. I don't go to him on any drive.
No. Not with his hands.
No.
Klinger trying to step over on the forehand side, ends up dumping it in the net.
1-0-2.
Auvergne attacking that left hip. Earns the side out.
De La Rosa telling Auvergne let that go, but again, everyone thinks it's so easy to just let that ball go. It's going to go out. Ball's on you. It's right there.
0-1-1.
These players want to hit.
Oh, Vern making the right decision to slide over and take that put away.
Well, in either situation, the De La Rosa little stutter step wasn't able to get there around the post. But even if he had have gone in that situation as well, it's an Auvergne middle.
Another Auvergne middle, another point.
Yeah, again, nice job right there. Auvergne stepping in, and again with this drive and attack, that's been working for Auvergne and De La Rosa.
Oh.
Ball kicking up awkwardly off the back of the line.
Like it may have been out, but I guess it caught the back of the line.
2-1-2.
Standing two top.
I like that. Anticipate the speed up.
De La Rosa holding that on the paddle just long enough, and then the whip action on the wrist.
Yeah, watch him. I think he clipped
Little
the tape.
net cord action there
Yeah,
too.
a little bit. He won't complain about it. Yeah, that's the pattern that I was saying I want Whittaker to get out of, because De La Rosa is going to grind you out all day right there. He's got to flatten one down the line to the Auvergne backhand, and then it'll involve Klinger again.
Yeah, nice reach in there from Klinger. And again, it's all about getting the ball down. It's not necessarily about the pace. Takes a little bit off of that, adds some spin, ball's down.
De La Rosa getting the friendly bounce off the top of the net. Three, 1-2. Stand up a little too tall there.
Well, and again, De La Rosa just needs to stay in the pattern, right? He's got the pattern. He's in charge of it. He has been. That's the first mistake he's made out of that pattern.
Klinger getting too big as he's moving forward to the kitchen line.
Yeah, I think once he's moving forward there and that paddle gets behind him, it's so tough from mid-court to get that ball over the net, let alone up at the kitchen line.
See, and all that pattern does is it takes Klinger out of play. If he's going to go cross-court that hard, he's allowing De La Rosa to pull him hard cross-court, that being Whittaker, and then you're eliminating your biggest weapon, which is C.J. Klinger. He needs to flatten that ball out and then let Auvergne get involved and try to go cross-court with Klinger.
Oh.
De La Rosa trying to speed up.
Yeah, it's just too flat there. The elbows are elevated, so as he tries to punch that one down the line, ball's below the net, never going to come above it.
Step in by Auvergne, easy forehand winner through the middle.
Yeah, big man getting big in the middle right here with his forehand. Ball gets popped up just enough where he can reach in and punish that.
And De La Rosa makes an error on the third. It feels like Auvergne hasn't been quite as involved here early on in game two as he was in game one.
Well, they're returning more to De La Rosa, and they're not returning as much middle either for Auvergne to step over and drive that third.
Klinger backhand into the body of Auvergne.
That's the frack, but Auvergne's standing there with his paddle down by his knee.
It's just asking to be tagged.
Yeah, I mean, that's a...
3-4-1.
Whittaker just a little lazy on that serve there. Ooh,
backhand
risky.
flip roll That's where Auvergne has really improved his game, though, over the course of the last year, is that backhand.
He didn't have the backhand.
No,
he didn't have the backhand in New York.
He had no backhand in New York, not even including that little wrist flick, which he's really developed. Oh, that ball is monstrous off the paddle of De La Rosa.
Five, 3-1 in favor of Auvergne and De La Rosa. Good vision from Klinger there to just find a sliver of open court.
Yeah, that ball just set up off the open face. Drop attempt from Auvergne. And Klinger creating that angle past De La Rosa.
Return error gives another point to Auvergne and De La Rosa, doubling up Klinger and Whittaker 6-3. De La Rosa perhaps trying to go for a bit too much there.
Well, funnily enough, De La Rosa is very dangerous from that spot where he's like falling back from the baseline. And around.
Oh, that was a pretty one.
That's an around the post that came back to the service line. So that ball is 10 feet inside of the sideline. That's the angle that De La Rosa created right there off that net.
Yeah, that's all thanks to the net cord.
Quick side out. Six, 3-1. Going through Auvergne twice on that point.
That's a case in point there where Auvergne has just come up too far too soon. De La Rosa's drop, didn't get down.
Error by Klinger is another point.
But that's a totally different situation there. So Auvergne comes up, De La Rosa drives, jams up Whittaker, and then Auvergne can put the pressure on.
This ball doesn't come up to Whittaker right here, and they're going to get a timeout.
Another point for Stefan Auvergne, and Daniel De La Rosa makes it a 5-point advantage as they are closing in, trying to take this match. Dom and Chad, you've mentioned a couple of times today the frac. For people who may be new to pickleball, what is the frac and why is it so effective?
Well, it's that forehand, backhand, and so you can either call it a frac or you can call it a windshield wiper volley where, you know, on the forehand, the palm is facing the court. On the backhand, the back of the hand is facing the court. When you hit that frac, the palm turns over and is still facing the court, but you're on the backhand side. So now the frac is forehand, backhand combination. So that's why the windshield wiper volley, the fingers kind of stay up the whole way, and the palm stays out toward the court. It never actually gets the back of the hand.
And
frac is way cooler to say.
It is. And why it's so dangerous is because when people do that, it's more of a slapping action, and they can kind of aim that. And it's very deceptive when a player gets in that position. And so it's very interesting when that comes into play and when players start to use that now.
Auvergne backing up. I would almost think it would also be an advantage to the lefties because the angle is going to be different on a frac than the majority of the right-handed players.
Yeah, I mean, lefties always have the advantage because they're
different.
Yeah, different, yes. Unconventional. Special.
Unique?
However you want to call
Special.
it.
We'll call them special.
Did your mom call you unique, Chad? Is that what it was?
Oh, I was called special. I was a special case. I always wanted to be a lefty, though. Lefties, especially, well, as baseball players, lefties just, you know, they were either the smoothest, most fluent players out there, or they just had deception.
Ken Griffey Jr., smoothest left-hand swing in all history.
It's just pretty. It's just beautiful to watch.
8-4-1. Auvergne and De La Rosa back on serve. Auvergne trying his best to pick it up, but it's a put away for Whittaker.
Well, he went middle finally, right? He goes middle, and it allowed Klinger to step in. And again, can't eliminate your biggest weapon. You got to get him involved. It's a good spot right there from Whittaker. As Chad, you mentioned it earlier, Auvergne kind of crashing aimlessly and coming up without a thought in mind, and then he gets punished.
It's just a situation where he's putting De La Rosa in. If he doesn't hit a good ball, then the point's over.
And De La Rosa getting big at the kitchen line, puts it into the net. Another point for Klinger and Whittaker. They are doing their best to hang here in Game 2 after dropping Game 1 11-4. 5-8-1. An uncharacteristic error there from Klinger.
I mean, Auvergne's beat, but somehow De La Rosa gets that ball back. Keeps him in that point and gets it down.
Whittaker cuts it to fine side out for Auvergne and De La Rosa. They are 3 points away from taking the match. Way too long off the paddle of Whittaker.
Well, and that's a situation, too, where that drive's coming at you and you're trying to punch that ball back deep. That's not necessary, especially when that ball's coming that hard. You want to look for that line across the transition area and go somewhere there. Then you got room for error.
Auvergne going right into the body of Klinger to earn match point.
He was sitting on it before Klinger even pulled the trigger to counter that.
The wrong choice was that first ball that popped up. He went back. Klinger went back to De La Rosa instead of going after Auvergne.
On match point, De La Rosa drops the serve into the net, so Klinger and Whittaker live to see another point. And earn one as well off of the serve as Auvergne sends the forehand long.
Good pressure there from Klinger on the drive and then step in.
Auvergne winning the speed up as Klinger puts it in the net.
Yeah, that's a good spot there from Auvergne because he goes just outside the right shoulder of Whittaker. Whittaker can't get there, and by the time Klinger gets there, he's too late.
Oh my gosh, that ball's almost behind Klinger, and not only does he get it, he counters it. Beautifully done by CJ Klinger. Such quick hands.
De La Rosa, that was a deceptive speed up. It was a slow motion right into the body of Klinger. Another match point coming for Auvergne and De La Rosa. Auvergne can't make the pickup.
Well, De La Rosa flirting with the middle right there, and his issue is he got Klinger involved. Klinger gets the ball at the feet of Auvergne, jams him up.
Third time is a charm as De La Rosa forces the error Stefan Auvergne and Daniel De La Rosa take it 4-7. They will be moving on to the winner's bracket final to face Andre Diescu and Rob Nunnery. We will speak to them when we come back here on Championship Court. Much more still ahead here at the 2023 APP Dallas Open.
From tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped, suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
The APP is presented by LS, Gamma, the Boca Raton, and Franklin.
Now we're taking a look at match point here for Daniel De La Rosa and Stefan Auvergne. A big drive from De La Rosa down the line behind Klinger. And Auvergne and De La Rosa are moving on to the winner's bracket final. We'll take on Andre Diescu and Rob Nunnery. Dominic Catalano's down courtside.
All right, Daniel, first I'll start with you. Obviously, you guys want to play with pace. When you have a guy on the other side of the net like CJ Klinger, such good hands, does it change your game plan up at all?
It really does. You know, CJ has been playing great the last couple times, and then, yeah, we have to make sure our shots are a little bit cleaner because we know that it's coming with speed. If we speed it up, it's going to come in twice as hard. So, but we just, I think we play a little bit cleaner. We don't make a lot of mistakes like we did on the previous games. But, yeah, he played good.
And then Stefan, playing next to Daniel, he was going cross-court a lot with Whittaker there. How do you stay involved right there and then not get cold and get kind of iced out?
I mean, I'm just moving around back and forth and staying warm, just ready for my moment. But I think that was kind of our game plan, and it worked really well. Daniel played great in the cross-court ding, so, yeah, it was perfect.
And then moving on to that winner bracket final, you have Andre Diescu, Rob Nunnery. What's the game plan going in against a team that's been here and done that before?
We're just going to play some pickleball, so not make a lot of mistakes and then just have fun.
All right, they want to play clean in that winner bracket final. We'll take a break here from the APP Dallas Open, but next up on Championship Court, it is the Women's Pro Doubles winner bracket final here in Dallas.